Tommy Sprague was 9 the year the gingerbread house tried to eat Mill Street. It started the way most bad things start in Gates Falls, Maine. Slow, polite, almost friendly. December 12th, the first real snow of the season, drifting down like God was shaking a giant flour sifter. Tommy stood on the sidewalk in front of Sweet Hereafter Bakery, nose pressed to the cold glass, watching Mr. Lebrecq put the finishing touches on the biggest gingerbread house the town had ever seen. 4 feet wide, 3 feet tall. Gumdrop shrubs, licorice fences, a whole peppermint sidewalk. The roof was white icing thick enough to look like fresh powder. And in the little candy doorway stood a gingerbread man with black icing eyes and a crooked red smile. Tommy's breath fogged the window. He wanted that house worse than he'd ever wanted anything. Mr. Lebrecq spotted him and waved him inside, bell jingling like it was glad to see him. "Merry almost Christmas, Tommy. You like my masterpiece?" Tommy could only nod. The smell, molasses, cinnamon, something darker underneath, made his stomach flutter the way it did right before a nightmare. Lebrecq wiped flour off his hands. "Tell you what, I'm entering it in the county contest. If it don't win, it's yours. Fair?" Tommy managed a whisper. "Really?" "Scout's honor." Lebrecq ruffled the boy's hair and sent him home with a free gingerbread man in a wax bag. Tommy ate the legs first, then the arms, saving the head for last. The cookie tasted like smoke and pennies. That night, the dreams started. He was inside the gingerbread house, the walls breathing, the peppermint sidewalk soft and warm, like tongue. Little gingerbread children ran past him, laughing without opening their mouths. When he tried to leave, the gingerbread man with the crooked smile blocked the candy doorway. "Run, run, as fast as you can," it said without moving its lips. "You can't catch me. I'm already inside." Tommy woke up tasting molasses and blood because he'd bitten his own tongue. 2 days later, Mr. Lebrecq's bakery burned to the ground. Faulty wiring, the fire chief said. Lebrecq himself vanished. Some said he'd gone south. Others said the flames took him. The gingerbread house, somehow, came through the fire untouched. The insurance company auctioned it off to settle debts. Tommy's mom, feeling bad about the BB gun and everything else that year, bought it for $25. She set it on the dining room table like it was the damn Hope Diamond. That night, the smell came back. Sweet at first, then rotten underneath, like fruit left too long in the sun. Tommy sat cross-legged in front of the house for hours. The little gingerbread man in the doorway seemed bigger, its icing eyes looking wet. December 23rd, the first kid disappeared. Sammy Whitaker, 7 years old, red hair, freckles like cinnamon dots. Last seen riding his new sled toward the woods behind the Catholic church. Search parties found the sled, runners sticky with something like melted caramel but smelling wrong. No footprints, no tracks, just drag marks ending at a spruce tree. When they cut the tree open, there was nothing inside but sap the color of dried blood. That same afternoon, Tommy noticed the gingerbread house had grown. Not much, just an extra room on the side. Cookie walls, glossy icing, and two tiny new figures in the peppermint yard, one with red icing hair, one shaped like a sled. His mom laughed when he told her, "You been sneaking extra sugar, mister?" She ruffled his hair the same way Mr. Lebrecq had, and for one cold second, Tommy hated her. Christmas Eve. Snow coming down so hard the streetlights looked like candles inside cotton. Power lines humming. The house smelling like a bakery and a butcher shop had a baby. Tommy's mom tucked him in early, night shift at the mill. "Lock the doors," she said, "and stay out of the cookies." After she left, the house went quiet, except for the wind and something else. A soft, wet chewing. Tommy crept downstairs in his pajamas. The gingerbread house now took up half the dining table. New wings, new chimneys, a whole gingerbread Gates Falls spreading across the wood like mold. Main Street in black licorice. The Catholic Church in white chocolate. Little candy people everywhere. Dozens of them, all facing the windows of the real house. In the center stood the gingerbread man, 8 inches tall now. Its smile had too many teeth. Tommy's bare feet stuck to the floor. When he looked down, the hardwood had turned soft, brown, moist. Gingerbread. The house was baking the house. He ran for the front door. The knob came off in his hand like a warm cookie, frosting oozing from the keyhole. From the dining room came a chorus of tiny voices. "Run, run, as fast as you can." He bolted for the kitchen, slipped, went down hard. The linoleum rippled under him, rising into walls. He was in. He was inside the gingerbread mill street now. Gumdrop streetlights glowing, air thick as syrup, snowflakes tasting like sugar, and ash. The gingerbread children closed in. Sammy Whitaker's candy face with no eyes, just black icing holes. His tiny arm raising in greeting. Behind him stood Mr. Lebrecq, apron made of red fruit leather, mouth sewn shut with black thread, crumbs falling as he tried to scream. Tommy ran. Past the gingerbread library, Mrs. Gilman waving with pretzel stick fingers. Past the gingerbread mill, his mom's tiny chocolate self working at a licorice machine forever. The gingerbread man waited at the end of the peppermint road, arms spread wide like Jesus on the cross. Only this Jesus had claws of hardened icing. "You can't catch me, Tommy Sprague. I'm the gingerbread man." Tommy turned to run and saw the walls closing, roof lowering, everything folding in like the house was swallowing itself. He felt his skin soften, smelled himself baking, his fingers fusing, his legs sticking together. The heat gentle, almost kind. The last thing he saw was the gingerbread man leaning close, breath hot with cloves and old fire. "Merry Christmas, Tommy. You taste like home." Christmas morning. The house on Mill Street was empty. Snow had stopped. Sun came out bright and mean, the kind of light that shows every crack. Deputy Soames kicked the door in after neighbors complained about the smell. Sweet turned sour, like a candy factory left to rot. The dining table was bare, except for one perfect gingerbread house, bigger than before, detailed right down to the tiny icicles. In the candy doorway stood a new gingerbread boy, blonde icing hair, blue M&M eyes wide with leftover terror. Deputy Soames stared a long time, then carried the house outside, smashed it with a shovel, gathered every crumb, burned them in a barrel, watching until nothing remained but gray ash and a single black button that refused to melt. That night, the wind shifted. Over on Birch Street, little Annie Hargrove woke up screaming about a cookie man at her window. Her parents found black crumbs on the sill, tiny handprints in the snow, leading into the dark. Somewhere in Gates Falls, an oven timer dinged, and the smell of gingerbread drifted through the town again. Warm, inviting, patient as winter itself. Run, run as fast as you can. He's already inside.